Так, привет всем, с вами я, Дженни, это College Russian, со мной мой студент, ученик Илья, и мы сегодня будем говорить об очень трудной теме на русском языке, это глаголы движения. So today we're going to be talking about one of the things that make Russian and all Slavic languages extremely difficult, and that is verbs of motion. I've done a video about this before. Here it is linked here in the video, and then I'll link it as well in the description below. I had a really nice worksheet to go with it, so I'll link all of that down in the description. But today, Eli and I are going to take it even to the next step, which is using verbs of motion in past, in future, all the different types of verbs of motion. And anyway, so we're going to go more into depth, whereas that previous video was more at the beginning level. But we'll start easy and then ease our way into the more difficult aspects of verbs of motion. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so this is what we're going to be doing today, Ilya. We are going to just even talk about what are verbs of motion. Bless those people's hearts that are learning Russian and they don't know about this yet, right? Like, isn't that adorable that they haven't, their innocence hasn't been shattered yet. So verbs of motion. Then we're going to just talk about just to say the word to go in Russian, because there's a million different ways to say it. Then we're going to talk about how to say went, when you went somewhere. In fact, we were just talking about your wife, where she went. You could even maybe try saying that in context when we get to that section. Yeah. Then I'm not going to make you learn all the verbs of motion because there's many of them. I'm just going to focus today on the going, and then running, swimming, flying, climbing, and kind of crawling as well. So real quick, let's talk about what is a verb of motion. Okay, so verbs of motion are different from perfective and imperfective. How? Explain to me how they're different. Why are they their own separate category?
Because it's not about a perfective or imperfective. It's more about a direction, multi-directional, unidirectional. Whether you go there habitually, whether you went there one time, whether you're still there, whether you're on your way there.
Yep, exactly. Coming back. Right? Yeah. Round trips, etc. So you can see, so whereas the perfective, imperfective, we would just have two columns when talking about those kinds of verbs. But as you can see, when we're doing a verb of motion, we have three columns. We have the multi-directional, meaning you go there, you come back habitually. You have the in motion, you're currently going there. And this often translates in English as ing.
Yeah.
ing. And keep that in mind because we're going to talk about certain things here, mistakes that I hear learners make. And then the one is more on like, we will do it. It's a departure. And this column does nicely, for the most part, line up with perfective for the most part, but not always. Okay, so I want you to help me come up with a bunch of verbs of motion. Just what ones can you think of? So we're going to elaborate on this chart with some other different verbs of motion that you can think of. What are some other ones?
Идти.
Okay, we've got идти right here.
Oh, is it already on there?
Yep. So we've got, these are all going.
Ездить,
ходить, ехать, идти, поехать,
there's летать, лететь. That'd be to fly, right?
Летать, лететь.
Лететь.
And then the departure version of it is just the middle column with a po after it. Полететь. That's why I put the middle there, because it's just it's super easy to create the third column once we know the second column. Okay, what else?
To swim, is that plavit? Is that a
plavit? And what's the unidirectional version of that though?
Plotch. Is it?
Cry.
I was just throwing something out there.
Pleat.
That's right. Pleat.
And then just put a po. There you go. Pleat.
I can't. I know there's one. There's one.
Run. Think of run.
Oh, begать.
Begать. What's the unidirectional?
Бегать. I don't know. Бежать. Oh my goodness. And then побежать.
And then the conjugations of that are я бегу, ты бежишь, он бежит. Мы бежим, вы бежите, они бегут. What? And then super easy.
Побежать.
Бежать.
And then obviously there's like the nesti, the things like carry.
Good, carrying, and we'll have a whole separate lesson on nasit, which then nesti, and then понести.
Yeah.
Okay, same thing would be водить.
And that's to lead, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Вести. Okay, so here we go. I'll help you out here, right here. I don't like my formatting here. I need to redo this chart. But so here you can see all of them. It doesn't have the 3 columns. There should be one more column. But for example, лезти, to climb. Oh, and sorry, that's a typo. That needs to be лезть with a мягкий знак. Remember, forgot to fix that. It should be like that. Лезть.
Okay.
Лазить, гнать. All of the chasing, погнать, погнали, etc. Ехать, ездить, плыть, плавать, вести, водить, брести. You don't hear this word very often. It means to roam, бродить. You would hear it a lot in old poetry and stuff. Тащить, таскать, which again, you usually hear these in the prefixed forms. And that's going to be a whole other lesson, is the prefixed version of all of these. This is a good one. Кататься. Did you know that that was a verb of motion?
No, not until I was going through and I saw the кататься на лыжах and stuff
Isn't
like that.
that funny? Yeah. So we really mainly hear that in the multi-directional because you're usually talking about hobbies. And you can't have a hobby of just to roll in one direction, right? Most likely if you're skiing in multiple directions. So кататься. And then we've got to crawl, etc. And there's probably some more that I didn't feel were relevant on here, but there's a whole group of them in Russian. Okay, so we're going to look at some memes, and you're going to try and figure out, are we looking at a multi-directional? Are we looking at a unidirectional? And why?
Okay, so почему же я не летаю? It's actually super funny.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be a multi-directional habitual, like, why don't I fly?
Yeah, he's like, God, I wish I was the kind of squirrel that could fly, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and there's a typo here. Everybody forgive me. That should have a mягкий знак. I didn't write this meme. I just found it on the internet. Okay, so Jack.
Jack, я лечу. Дорожно видишь айсберг, в который мы сейчас бросимся.
Да. So do you remember this moment in Titanic?
When there wasn't enough room? Is that
no? You remember
when they're about to hit the iceberg?
No, remember. I mean, yeah, obviously when they hit the Titanic. But she goes out to the front of the ship, and what does she say? I'm flying, Jack. I'm flying. Right? Okay, you're probably too young. You're too young.
No, I remember the 4 hours of that movie. Yeah, I do.
Unfortunately. Okay, so I remember, and you hear that ing. I'm flying, right? I am currently unidirectional. So she's not sounding Jack like, hey, did you know I can fly? I fly, right?
Yeah.
Nope, she's just in that moment. She's like pretending like she flies. Okay, следующий.
Вот завтра точно начну бегать по утрам. Okay, that's super funny as well. So it's this idea that like tomorrow I'm going to start running, right?
Yeah. Yep. And again, if it's like a skill or a habit, then we would get the multi-directional. Okay.
Yes.
Хорошо. How about this one?
Все бегут на работу, а у меня начался отпуск.
Отпуск. Начался отпуск. So what's he saying?
Well, tomorrow they're all going to work, but I'm starting my vacation.
Not tomorrow, but like, look at all those suckers going to work. And I'm starting my time off. I'm starting my vacation.
Yeah.
Вот. Okay, we'll go back to those more. So we're just going to keep it simple. Oh, we didn't do the разминка. I skipped the разминка. Okay, so we're going to try to have you talk about this. Куда ты ездил прошлым летом?
Хорошо, прошлым летом. Я ездил в Айдахо, чтобы, как говорится, моим дедушкам. Дедушкой, да. И после этого мы ездили со семьей к Lava Hot Springs.
Окей, подожди. Значит, была одна поездка, вы ездили к дедушке. Потом вы вернулись домой в Юту. То есть это одна поездка.
Да.
Окей, потом. Еще раз вы ездили в Айдахо, чтобы там посетить вот этот известный бассейн Lava Hot Springs. То есть 2 поездки, да? Окей,
да.
Хорошо.
И после этого на то же самое отпуске мы со семьей ездили к другими дедушками.
К
К,
другому дедушке?
да, к другому дедушке, который живет в Айдахо.
Окей. То есть вы ездили в Lava Hot Springs сначала, до того, как вы поехали к дедушке?
Да, то есть мы
Ага.
пошли,
Поехали.
можно сказать пошли, потому что это то же самое, то есть мы пошли туда, и после этого мы пошли,
So you walked to Lava Hot Springs?
no, I mean, we tried, no, we did not.
I mean, from the car to the entrance.
Мы поехали
Так.
туда, и после этого мы поехали
Ага.
в Бойси.
В Бойсе? Я очень
да.
люблю Бойсе.
Да, мне очень нравится также. И после этого мы поехали в Twin Falls, это другой город в Айдахо. И после этого мы поехали домой.
Так, окей, видишь, вот почему я спросила, это было 2 поездки.
Да.
Потому что очень важно, если вы вернулись оттуда, надо сказать, что мы ездили. So that would mean if you had said мы ездили к одному дедушке, потом мы ездили к другому дедушке, that would mean like you returned back to the first grandpa after visiting the second grandpa. You see that, so it all gets really confusing. Now, if you have multiple destinations, we'll practice this in just a second. If you have multiple destinations, you're not making round trips in between all those places.
Yes.
Okay, so try it again. So lay out for me. I'm going to like draw a map in my head of Idaho. Кстати, Idaho очень интересный штат. Там очень красивая природа. Окей, вот. So еще раз. То есть, in fact, let's add in some dates here. Let's add in some dates.
This is going to be fun. Хорошо, то есть в июне мы со семьей ехали.
Поехали.
No. Can I ask a question real quick? So if you went one time and came back home.
Ездили. You came back. Even if you only ever went there one time in your entire life. You made a round trip.
That would be the idea of like multi-directional. Round
trip,
trip,
and we're going to talk about why we really don't say ехали and шли very often.
Yes.
You really don't.
То есть мы ездили со семьей
в Idaho. Like we took a trip to Idaho. And this is how we did it.
И после этого, когда, наверное, мы уже были в Юте, да, и в июле мы с семьей поехали в такая, бассейн, находится в Айдахо, это Lava Hot Springs, очень красивое место, это очень популярные достопримечательности там. Мы там со семьей были, наверное, неделю и все, и после этого мы поехали в Бойси, то есть еще 3 часа в машине отсюда, да. И мы были в Бойси, наверное, 3 дня, и после этого мы поехали в Twin Falls, это другое место, не очень популярный в Айдахо, но очень красивый есть. Такие, достопримечательности там можно видеть. Есть такая...
Водопады.
Да, водопады, да. Это
да, ты знаешь, мои родители и дедушка, и бабушки, они все родились в городе Idaho Falls.
О, да.
Да, и там есть очень красивый водопад тоже. Очень красивый.
Водопад. Но после этого мы поехали домой.
Супер, окей. So, этим образом мы можем представить себе карту, по которой вы путешествовали, да? Окей, вот, очень хорошо. Вот, следующая практика. Окей, теперь мы уже будем говорить об этом глаголе, just просто to go, okay? So we'll this is just so simple. And it's in English, it's so simple. And in Russian, they went and made it super complicated. So let's look at these. So big thing to keep in mind here. If it is obviously another city, state, or country by vehicle.
Yeah.
And you can review those at the video. If you can't remember the by vehicle versus by foot, follow the link in the description. Okay. So hopefully you know these by this point. But I want to remind people, you can survive in Russia not knowing these verbs of motion. Like these return missionaries.
I did.
They come back after living in Russia for 2 years. They have no idea that you have all these different verbs. Yep.
Yes.
Because everybody understands what you're trying to say. So here we go. So we first, if you see another city, country, or state, you need the by vehicle. Okay, хорошо. Номер 1.
Многие американцы ездят в Мексику на отдых.
Ага, ездят в Мексику на отдых.
Это habitual, да?
Да, они ездят. They go there and they come back. Hopefully, you know.
Yeah.
Ездят. Окей, следующий, номер 2.
Я в спортзал 4 раза в неделю. То есть я хожу.
Хожу. It's not obviously another city, state, or country, so we really should be using the by foot, even if you are technically driving there. Okay, номер 3.
Привет, куда ты идешь? Или,
Едешь would be weird. You'd be pounding on their window, asking them.
Yeah, that would be weird. Unless your car stopped at the same light. Куда ты идешь? И я иду в кафе.
Ага, хочешь?
Хочешь идти со мной?
Идти со мной или пойти. Хочешь идти со мной? Пойти со мной. Так или так. 4.
Моя жена была в Калифорнии, но она уже пошла домой.
She walked home from California?
Да, поехала.
No. So but look at the next sentence. She'll arrive in an hour. So she's currently
on the way. So
она
уже ездила.
Едет.
Едет.
These are all present tense.
Yeah, she's currently on the way.
Yep.
Она уже едет домой.
So, кстати, so you were just telling me your wife just went to Hawaii. How would you tell me that?
Моя жена поехала в Гавайи.
На Гавайи. Она еще там. Она еще там на Гавайях. She's still in Hawaii.
No, она вернулась.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a different thing, right? So we'll get to that. Okay. No. You're gonna correct yourself in just a second. Okay. Вот. Хорошо. Следующий. Okay. Imagine you're in a taxi. And you know how they try and cheat you and they try and take a longer way. This is in New York City, so they can charge you more money. How would you be like, you're not going the right way. Turn right.
Вы неправильно ездите.
Едете. Вы неправильно едете. Поверните направо. Okay, so let's come and review these. I think we need to review. So, например, смотри. Look at the conjugations. Езжу, ездишь, он ездит, мы ездим, вы ездите, они ездят. Хожу,
ходишь.
Ага, ходишь, ходит, ходим, ходите, ходят. Так, ехать, еду, едешь, едет, едем, едете, едут. Okay, so that is they are currently in motion, either going by vehicle or down here going by car. And then these ones you probably remember. Я поеду, ты поедешь, он поедет. Я пойду, ты пойдешь, он пойдет. И так далее.
Yes.
Okay, so let's come back to that. Tell the taxi driver he's going the wrong way.
Вы неправильно едете.
Едете. Да, едете. We want to make sure that stress is correct because if you say едите, it means you eat.
Yes.
So
you're not correctly eating.
Едете.
Please fix that.
Так. Окей, хорошо. Номер 9. Okay, so we practice those. Многие американцы ездят. Я хожу в спортзал. Привет, куда ты идешь? Я иду. Она уже едет домой. Вот, номер 9. And for people that don't know, можно ехать в Калифорнию на машине. Из Юты, потому что обычно люди, которые живут в Юте, они ездят в Калифорнию. Да, потому что недалеко. 10 часов на машине. Вот. Okay. Now, tricky things here. Things that you wouldn't think would be a going by foot or, you know. So, for example, этот автобус. How would you ask somebody, does this bus go to Ashan? Это большой магазин? I don't know if they had that in Siberia, but Ashan.
Well, now I'm wondering. I'm just gonna assume idiot.
Idiot. Очень хорошо. And the reason for this, I asked a Russian person because I was super mad about this. Public transport goes by foot. So really you're using ехать, ездить when you're riding on something. You're riding something. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So once you get on that bus and your friend calls you and says, "Привет, что ты делаешь?" You would say, "Я еду в Ашан." But what the
The bus itself
the bus itself goes by foot.
That's
because it's not riding. The bus is not riding on anything else.
Yeah, that's super interesting.
It's using its own devices to get from one place to another. Okay. How would you tell somebody don't go to the park? It's raining.
Well, I would assume it would be не идете в парк или не идешь в парк.
Yeah, that would mean you're not going to the park. Дождь.
Идет.
Идет. Очень хорошо. So snow goes, rain goes, etc.
Yeah.
Now, how would you ask somebody? Do you remember the word речь?
Is that like language?
It means like speech or like the thing that they're talking about. So you could kind of be like, oh, what are they talking about? What is the conversation going about?
I'm assuming it's идти, right? Like you'd be like, о чем идет речь?
О чем идет речь? О чем идет речь? Как? How would you ask somebody, how are your classes going?
Well, same thing, like как идут твои занятия?
Очень хорошо. Молодец. Как идут твои занятия? And then this is a big спорный вопрос. It's like a controversial question about what ships do. So depending on who you ask, how would you say that ships
корабли не плавают?
Плавают.
Плавают. I don't know.
Ходят.
Ходят.
So apparently, if you ask a sailor, they say that корабли ходят.
Really?
Ходят. And we'll let people go crazy in the comments below about which one is correct. Корабли плавают или ходят?
I can honestly say I've never had asked that question.
Here's another good one. Слухи ходят. Do you know what this phrase means?
Ходят.
Слухи ходят.
No, words go on.
Слухи means gossip or rumors.
So the rumors continue. The
rumors are going around. It's going around town, which makes sense that it's multi-directional, right? Because it's like going all around town. Слухи ходят. Okay, очень хорошо.
Слухи ходят.
Вот, теперь перевод.
Oh, that's funny.
Перевод. Okay. So now, how would you do all of these to make it into future tense?
Nice. So a couple options, right? Like one, you can say like буду, right?
Yep, but you cannot pair, and this is the same as imperfective, perfective. You cannot pair буду with the departure column. So you cannot say я буду поехать. You cannot.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's, in that case, it does line up to a certain degree with, but you can say я буду ездить and you can say я буду ехать.
Interesting.
But you cannot say я буду поехать. So let's try that. With that in mind, let's try that.
I promise I'm starting Monday. I'll go to the gym every day. Could you say я буду ходить like
Я буду ходить.
Yeah.
I will start habitually going to the gym.
Yeah, so я буду ходить начинающий в понедельник.
Начиная с понедельника.
Начиная с понедельника.
С понедельника я обещаю.
Я обещаю, что
начиная с понедельника.
Иду.
Нет.
No, я хожу.
Я буду.
Я буду ходить. Я буду ходить в гимназию или в спортзал каждый день.
So real quick, if you were to say я буду идти, there's nothing about habitualness there, and instead what you're saying, I will be walking to the gym.
Yeah, I promise on Monday that I will be walking to the gym. Yeah.
Okay. Хорошо. Номер 2.
I'm going to finish this email and go home. So this, because it's a list of things, right? You would use
молодец, series of actions.
So this would be unidirectional. You'd have like something that is completed, right? So я иду. No, I'm going to finish. Departure.
Let's look at our column up here.
Я поеду.
I mean, yeah, if you drive. Or пойду.
Я пойду. So
я закончу этот email и пойду домой.
One more time. Я закончу. What did you say?
Я закончу этот.
Я закончу
email
и пойду домой.
И пойду домой. Вот.
Я закончу этот email и пойду домой. When we live in Europe, we will go all around the various countries. So that is also that's habitual. So когда мы живем в Европе, мы будем ездить, because it has to be мы будем ездить по другим городам.
По всем разным странам. По всем разным странам.
Разным
странам. Так, окей. Хорошо. I'll call back in 15 minutes when I'm driving home. Look at this ing. ing.
So I'm going to say я позвоню через 15 минут, когда я поезжу домой.
Nope. When I will be driving home.
Oh, that would be like я по...
No, we don't want any po. Po
No,
is
sorry.
emphasizing departure.
Когда я езжу домой.
Езжу means when I habitually go home.
You do?
Yeah.
Just going to throw out the third option.
Just a process of elimination.
I missed out.
Okay.
No,
So-
it's you do because it's yechit, right? So it'd be
Yes, so you
do.
could say, this
Yeah.
is what blew my mind. You can say here, буду ехать. You can say that. When I will be driving. Я перезвоню тебе через 15 минут, когда я буду ехать домой.
So if I would have just said когда я еду домой.
Yeah,
is
that's
that-
fine too. That's fine. But I
or you can
want
say, когда
I
я
want
буду-
the middle column.
Yes, clearly. But you can
Mem-
also say когда я буду ехать too.
Yeah, especially if that's like in the future, like, ой,
Emphasizing
смотри,
when I
я
am driving
буду.
home.
Yeah, you could say this. How would you translate this into English? Смотри, у меня будет новая работа, и, к сожалению, я буду много ездить. Но когда я буду ехать, мы будем говорить по телефону. Договорились?
Yeah, so I have a new job and I'm going to be traveling a lot. But when I am traveling,
When I am driving, when I'm
Like
out
we-
in the car,
we can talk on the phone.
мы будем говорить. И это будет весело. Да?
Mm.
Good. Exactly. Вот. See, that's what blows my mind is that you can kind of combine. You can say я буду ездить, and then you can also say я буду ехать.
Yes.
Again,
Mm,
those
my
things,
goodness.
it hurts. It's physically painful. Okay, хорошо. Now, saying went. Okay, so this is the biggest thing we care about. Did they come back from wherever they went? We don't
Yes.
care if they've only ever been there once in their 90 years of life. All we care about is that they came back.
As if they're back.
That's what trumps it. Okay. So it
Yeah.
has nothing to do with habitual. It's whether they came back or not. Okay. So pay attention to, does it look like whoever they're talking is back from wherever they went to? So keep this in mind. And now tell me that your wife went to Hawaii and she goes to Hawaii every year.
Okay, so моя жена
Let's look at our column. She
ехала.
went, no,
Она-
multi-directional. She went there and she came back.
No, habitually say моя жена ездит
Она ездит на Гавайи.
на Гавайи каждый год.
Каждый год. Now tell me she went to Hawaii. She made a round trip. Again, this is not a habitual. It is multi-directional. She went there
Oh, that's where I'm getting all
and she
caught
came
up.
back.
Она ездила.
Yep. That's why I said it doesn't matter if you only ever did that
Yes.
once in your entire life. If you went and you came
Yes.
back, we do this column.
Yes.
Isn't that insane?
Yes.
So it can be either habitual or it can be just one time, but you went and came back.
Yes, that's where I'm getting caught up. Is I keep thinking it's habitual
And
thing.
I'm gonna tell you in just a second. Just no. Just do not use this in the past tense. Just don't.
Ever.
You're
Yes,
really not
you
gonna
do.
need it.
Never, really.
You're very, very rarely gonna need it. Okay, so tell me one more time.
То есть
your wife went
моя
to-
моя жена ездила на Гавайи.
На Гавайи. Мгм.
И она ездит каждый год с подругой.
Она ездит туда каждый год с подругой. Очень хорошо. Окей, вот. Okay, so now let's look at the context here. Где Даша? Dasha has not come back from wherever she went to.
So then you'd say она... Is this past tense?
Past tense. We're all
Она-
saying, it's because look, we're saying to went.
Okay, so она шла на лекцию.
Nope. Okay, I can't take it anymore. I can't.
Ah, why?
We're gonna address this. Okay, you need to resist the urge to use this middle column. Don't use this middle column, okay? Because this,
Wait, она
has-
ездила. Она ходила на лекцию.
no, that means she's back. You're wondering where she is. She's not here. Where did she go to? Okay, real quick. I'm just gonna go off on this tangent right now. So just so you'll
Она
stop.
пошла?
No, yes, пошла, молодец. We'll come back to it in just a second.
My goodness.
So ехал and шел. These, so look at how wrong this is. I want you to see how wrong this is. Что ты делал вчера? Я шел в кино. That would translate into English is this. What did you do yesterday? I was walking to the movies. That's exactly how that sounds in Russian. Right?
Okay.
And so when we
Yeah.
hear that in English, we go, and something
did you
happened,
ever
and you
make it to
didn't
the
quite
movie,
make it
or
to the
did
movie.
you-
Yes, exactly. So you see how you got to avoid
So you'd say,
that
я шел
urge.
в кино, I had the intention of going to the movie, but then something happened.
Yeah, а потом
Okay.
я упал, сломал
Yeah.
себе ногу, и вот
Yeah.
так, right? So again,
Mhm.
that's how that sounds. I was going
Yeah.
to the movies. That's how that sounds in English. And that's why you have to resist the urge to use that
Yes.
column, that whole middle column in past tense. And this is going to come in handy when we do carrying, taking, etc.
Yes.
It just sounds weird. Okay, let's just keep on that. So the only time I allow students, really the only time we should be saying ехал or шел, is if it was kind of the background action for something else. So let's read some of these sentences and you're going to be able to see what I'm talking about.
В Огайо девочку унесло
Ветром.
когда она шла домой.
It's very sad.
Yeah.
Okay, so translate that for me.
What is ветром?
She was carried away by the wind.
Oh my gosh. So the emphasis is on being carried away, not necessarily on the while she was walking home, right? So her walking was interrupted. Right?
Yes. So the walking is the background action to the fact that she was carried away by the wind.
Yes.
You know? Okay, next one. В Орле.
В Орле
На переходе.
сбили пешехода,
Ага.
когда он шел на зеленый свет.
So translate that for me. In the city of Oryol.
Орел.
It's a city in Russia.
Не переходе сбили. I don't know.
At the crosswalk, a pedestrian was hit.
When he was trying to cross the green light.
He was walking on a green light.
Yes.
See how all these INGs walking.
Yes.
Okay. This one's super sad too. I'm sorry. I keep doing this.
В ДТП погиб народный артист Башкирии с женой. Они ехали на похороны. Похороны. So, in that is ДТП a city? Is that like a...
No, ДТП is a дорожное транспортное происшествие, which means a car accident. It's an acronym for a car accident.
Oh, so this artist Bashkiri and his wife died when they were driving in the car.
When they were driving, ing.
Yes.
To a funeral, more or less.
Oh my goodness, not похороны is oh my goodness.
Похороны, yeah. So that's very...
Oh, I did not know that word.
Very depressing headlines here, but they illustrate the point of it's a background action to something else. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now with that in mind, let's come back.
I got this. Let's go. Где Яша? Она пошла на лекцию.
Она пошла. Ее нет.
She's not come back. If she would have come back, it would have been ездила.
Куда она пошла? Она пошла на лекцию.
And then утром Вера blank на урок.
Oh, we have a series of places.
So if it's a series of places, I can use пошла. So this is past tense.
Пошла.
So this would be like утром Вера пошла на урок, потом она пошла на работу, или поездила, right? Or или поехала.
Поехала, yeah. But remember, our default should be the by foot unless it's obviously another city, state, or country.
И, наконец, пошла домой.
Пошла домой. Она пошла на урок, потом пошла на работу, потом, наконец, пошла домой. That's assuming she did not return to her original location in between either of those.
Yes.
Which is, right? You
most likely wouldn't.
Yeah. You would go to work, then you're going to hurry and stop off at the grocery store, and then you maybe do one other thing, and then you go home. Yeah. Okay, номер 3. Почему Владимира сегодня нету?
Она, I would say, поехала в Киев.
Владимир.
Sorry, он поехал в Киев.
В Киев, очень хорошо. Он поехал в Киев. He went to Ukraine. We don't care if he goes there habitually or not. We don't care about that. We're just saying he's not here. He has departed, and that's why he's not here.
And he is there. Yeah.
Because if you answered that question by saying он ездит в Киев, well, that's not what I asked. You know what I mean? That would be like, okay, that's great that he goes to Kiev habitually, but where is he today?
So what if I was trying to say present tense? Like someone said, hey, where's Vladimir?
That's fine. He's in the process.
He is currently on the process.
He's on his way to
Kiev. Okay, all right.
Да, очень хорошо. 4. Олег. Okay, you are talking to him. You're looking at him. Keep that in mind.
Олег, где ты был вчера? Тебя не было на уроке. And then he'd be like, я ходил.
No. Молодец, Очень хорошо. Yeah, you're about to say. Yeah, you were about to say.
Я ходил на концерт.
Я ходил на концерт.
And I'm back, bro. I'm
And I'm
talking
back.
to you.
And
Face
guess
to
what?
face.
What if that, even if that is the only concert he's ever been to in his life and he has no intention to ever going to one ever again?
He went there and came back. All we
Он
care about.
ходил. That's all we care about.
Я
Okay,
ходил.
номер 5. Раньше мы.
Раньше мы в Англию каждый день. Oh, каждый год. So this would be like a habitual thing. So раньше мы ездили, I want to say, ездили в Англию каждый год.
Да, очень хорошо. Молодец, очень хорошо. And again, например, кстати, я была в Англии один раз. Когда я училась в Москве, я ездила в Англию на Рождество.
Oh, cool.
К моим друзьям. Так. Но я была в Англии один раз. Все.
No, ты вернулась.
Да? Вот. So I still say я ездила. Потому что я ездила в Англию и вернулась в Москву. И все.
И все.
Так. Okay, so we already talked about that. Okay, so now we're going to practice talking about a trip that you've taken. Okay? Хорошо. So I'm going to tell you. Вот это была очень веселая поездка. Это было в 2011 году. Я ездила в Европу. Интересно, куда именно я ездила? Сначала я поехала на Западную Украину, в город, который называется Львов. Там я жила месяц и училась в университете, просто как в интенсивном курсе украинского языка. Оттуда, из Львова, я поехала в Киев, потому что мои самые лучшие друзья живут в Киеве. Из Киева я полетела, по-моему, из Львова в Киев. Потом из Киева я поехала в Грецию. Я полетела в Грецию. Мы поехали на пляж в Греции. Как называется этот пляж? Называется Халкивики. Это на севере Греции. С этого пляжа я поехала в Болгарию, потому что это недалеко от Греции. Да? То есть можно ездить в Болгарию. Да. Потом из Болгарии поехала назад в Грецию и из Греции полетела домой. Все? Okay? Теперь, okay, so now you and the viewers are going to like this. Try and lay out for me all the different places you lived in Russia. So I'm assuming you flied into Moscow and then maybe you took a train to Novosibirsk or so start thinking, so take a minute to think, how am I going to say the going versus the flying? And maybe you made a round trip at some point.
Хорошо, я полетел в Нью-Йорк. Из Нью-Йорка я полетел в Москву. Из Москвы я полетел в Новосибирск. Я жил в Новосибирске 2 дня, наверное. И после этого я ездил в Кемерово. Это был мой настоящий... Ездил,
So you made a round trip to Kemerovo and then you went back to Novosibirsk?
No, I lied. I did not.
I'm like, why would you just went to visit Kemerovo just for fun?
Just for fun. So I would say in that situation, I say поехал, да? Я поехал. Я поехал в Кемерово, я там жил 6 месяцев.
Так, оттуда
я поехал в Томск. В Томск жил почти год, 11 месяцев там.
Как интересно, долго жил в Томске.
Да, не бывает часто, но это было очень здорово. На самом деле, я поехал туда в январе, и я уехал оттуда в декабре. То есть это было 11 лет.
Почти год.
Да,
как интересно. See how you put it, уехал?
Dude, I did it.
And guess what? But guess what? It's because they're so much easier. And we're going to get to that, not in the next lesson, but in the lesson after that, because once you prefix these, there's only 2 versions of them. And you don't have to worry about whether you came back or not. Okay, хорошо. Дальше. Потом поехал из Томска
в Красноярск.
И жил в Красноярске сколько времени?
Наверное, 4 месяца. Это не было очень долго, но очень красивый город, там мне очень нравится.
И куда, когда ты жил в Красноярске, куда вы часто ездили?
Я поехал на поезде в Красноярске.
Окей, из Томска ты поехал в Красноярск на поезде.
На поезде, да, это очень
Да,
здорово, это как
потом,
Гарри Поттер.
когда ты жил в Красноярске,
Мгм.
куда вы часто ездили? Например, вы часто ездили в горы? Вы часто ездили в реку?
Ну, на самом деле, есть была такая гора, там называется Столбы, это, наверное, это хорошая достопримечательность. Мы ездили туда часто. Это было очень красивое место. Там можно кататься на лыжах. Там. Конечно, мы не сделали это, но, наверное, это возможно сделать.
И надо сказать, что миссионерам много чего нельзя. То есть им нельзя смотреть телевизор, им нельзя слушать музыку, им нельзя ходить на концерты,
Да.
им нельзя, наверное, им нельзя купаться в реке, в
Да.
океане, им нельзя кататься на лыжах, потому что это опасно.
Да.
Вот. Мгм.
Но просто мы ездили туда, потому что это очень красивое место. Столбы, это гора там. И из Красноярска я поехал в Новосибирск.
Мгм.
И я там жил.
Поехал на поезде?
Да, на поезде. Это было 12 часов, думаю.
Мгм.
И я там жил в Новосибирске 6 месяцев до того, как я улетел домой.
Okay, good. Or полетел.
Полетел домой, да.
Because again, once we put those prefixes on, the directionality is understood. It's understood that you left.
Yeah,
Right.
especially when I say домой. So.
Yeah, and that's why they're actually preferred, and natives use them more often, and that's why I tell people you can survive without the verbs of motion. It's just there's going to be these huge gaps in your vocabulary. But anyway, never mind. Never you mind. Okay, хорошо. Вот, очень хорошо. Мы уже говорили об этом. Okay, теперь практика. So it could be present, it could be past, it could be future.
Okay. Хорошо, Наташа в Москву на прошлой неделе. То есть Наташа, I'm assuming she returned. So Наташа ездила в Москву на прошлой неделе.
Так, what if she's disappeared and nobody's heard from her?
Dude, Наташа поехала.
You're a detective and you're asking like, yeah, она поехала в Москву?
Она поехала в Москву, мы не знаем, где она сейчас.
Да, очень хорошо. Окей. Номер 2. This person answers. They say, да, она часто туда
Ездит.
ездит. Очень хорошо. Ее родители там живут. Она something tomorrow. She's again.
I'm going to say ездит. Она ездит опять.
Nope, that's saying she's habitually going tomorrow.
Oh, so tomorrow, that would be like the ехать, right? So она едет.
Едет.
Да.
So you could do...
Because завтра and like скоро or like вчера, that all forces this
Она
like,
едет опять завтра. You could, I would either, if this was a test, I would either accept едет or поедет. She will depart again tomorrow. So don't, if you have business with her, you got to do it today, потому что она поедет завтра.
Она поедет завтра.
But
also
едет is also acceptable. It's called the implied future, just like we do it in English. I'm going to Russia next year. That's present tense.
What would be like, especially as like a professor, like what are you looking at? Like, what is the correct one? Obviously, you're accepting both.
They're both acceptable.
Okay. Она едет опять
All I don't want, what I don't want is ездит.
Yeah, you don't want to see ездит.
I don't want to see ездит because that's a weird way to be like, she's habitually going there tomorrow. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And then она обычно ездит на машине. Because the обычно will tell you that, right?
Or sometimes when you're talking about the mode of transportation, when you're emphasizing the mode of transportation, you can say едет as well. Я еду на работу на машине. So that one's acceptable as well.
Cool.
Номер 4.
Обычно, но завтра она... This would be...
Same thing.
Поедет, да, на автобусе?
Да, поедет или едет на автобусе.
На автобусе.
Окей. Очень хорошо. Теперь перевод.
I was just translating these then. I listened to the podcast yesterday while I was going home. So, hot dog, this is like a... Я слышал подкасты вчера, когда я... I'm gonna say...
I was in motion.
Ехал домой.
Я слушал подкасты вчера, когда я ехал домой. Так, номер 2.
My daughter started walking at 10 months. Моя дочь начала.
Начала.
Remember,
if it's a skill, it's something they're doing habitually. They're doing it all over the place in multiple directions.
Ходить.
Ага. Она начала
В 10
ходить.
месяцев.
10 месяцев. Очень хорошо.
Oh, I don't need to say в, right? Just 10 месяцев?
No, в 10 месяцев.
В 10 месяцев.
Так.
Okay. So, то есть моя дочь. Okay. And then, what do you do when it's snowing? Okay. Чем занимаешься? Или, like, что делаете?
Что вы делаете? Чем вы занимаетесь? Когда
снег идет?
Когда снег идет. Очень хорошо. Here's a good one. Номер 4. You could do this in a couple of different ways.
You could say поехали в концерт, на концерт.
Да, поехали на концерт.
Because it's like the
that would be you're in a car and you're driving.
Или you could say like пошли на концерт.
Пошли на концерт. How would you invite somebody? Like, come on, like, let's all go together.
Вы хотите поехать?
I'm thinking давай.
Oh, давай.
Давай пойдем.
Oh, okay. Давай пойдем.
На
давай поехем.
Давай поедем.
Поедем на концерт.
The other one that you hear is very slangy is, ну что, пойдемте на концерт? Shall we go? Is it, it's time to go. Shall we go?
Shall we go?
Пойдемте. Right?
Пойдем.
Так, хорошо. We'll buy this bread and go home.
Мы будем купить это хлеб.
No, imagine your child's with you in the store and they're freaking out and you're like, ну, успокойся.
Мы купаем это хлеб и домой.
Мы
купим этот хлеб и that would be like.
We have a series of places we're going to.
Yeah, so it's like in motion, so it'd be like.
We will depart as soon as we do this thing.
Идем домой. Пойдем домой.
The emphasis is on the departure. Your little kid wants you to leave. You want to get out of there. Okay, well, we've got to first buy this bread, and then I swear, we'll go.
Пойдем.
Так, okay, следующий. Where did Misha go?
Где Миша?
Куда делся? Куда он испарился?
Где Миша?
No, куда?
Куда Миша ездит? Или ходил? No?
I mean, okay, you could say куда он ходил, but that would mean he's back and you're wondering where he
okay, so if you're saying like if he's currently missing and we don't know his
like
Misha поехал или пошел.
Куда Миша
пошел?
Like he was here a second ago, он здесь был, куда он пошел? Я хотела говорить с ним.
Okay, пошел.
Так, but if you did say куда он ходил, that would be like,
where did he go and come back?
Yeah, last Thursday. Where did he go? Why wasn't he in class? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Хорошо. Вот. So now we're getting into fly, swim, and run. So I want you to look at these. These are going to be a little tricky. It's a matter of memorizing. If I were you and you really wanted to get serious about these, you would create a big chart for yourself and memorize what goes into which column.
Yeah.
Right? So you'll notice here with бегать, плавать, летать, they all have kind of a at ending, and then we need to put in climb, which is лазить. And then over here it would be lest, and then lest over there. Okay, so let's come and look at these examples, and you tell me, does it look like it's got the multi-directional or the unidirectional happening? So, for example, видеоуроки по скалолазанию. This is, я очень люблю скалолазание.
That would be like habitual.
Habitual. Again, remember, it's a skill. It's a skill. And that's a climbing. Лазить. Okay? Here's this name. Поплыву к мечте.
So that's like the unidirectional, like the future, right?
The departure. I'm gonna set sail toward my dreams.
Yes.
But look at what it is. It's a центр раннего плавания.
So it's like a swimming place. You learn how to play.
This is the skill version. So it's the multi-directional. And then this one is like set sail, swim to your dream, kind of set sail towards your dream. Yeah. Okay. This is это очень хороший фильм.
Летят журавли.
Журавли, the cranes. That's a bird, a crane.
Журавли.
And look at them. They're looking up at the sky. And what are the cranes doing currently at the given moment?
They are летятing.
Летятing. Это русклийский. Ты говоришь по-русклийски.
So that would be unidirectional, right? Like it's.
They're currently flying in the sky.
They're currently flying in the sky.
Летят журавли. Очень хорошо. This is the famous song. If you don't know it, you got to learn it. Again, missionaries aren't allowed to listen to music, so you don't know about Cheburashka. But
I've totally seen that dude, though.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the Russian birthday song. Пусть бегут неуклюже пешеходы по лужам. He's out on the street playing the garmoshka while people are running around him. So he's like, let these people run around. I don't care. I'm having a great time on my garmoshka because it's his день рождения.
Yeah, so пусть бегут means like just habitually do whatever you want. Like
No, because that would be бегают.
So this is like they're currently running around.
Yep, so he's essentially saying like, I don't care that everybody's running all around awkwardly, clumsily in the rain. I don't care that it's raining, etc.
Let them run around.
Exactly. Okay, хорошо. So now we're going to look at these sentences. We'll translate them into English, and we're going to try and dissect. Are we looking at multidirectional, unidirectional, and why? Номер один.
Как справиться со страхом летать? Летать at would be the multidirectional habitual.
Да, очень хорошо. So what is this person saying? Как справиться со страхом летать?
Is it like how to handle fear of flying?
Exactly. How to handle the fear of flying. Да. So again, it's a skill. It's a thing that you would habitually do. Номер два. Крысы.
Крысы умные и активные, прекрасно лазят.
Лазят.
И далеко прыгают.
I hate this.
Лазят is
Лазят.
Oh my goodness. Лазят is what's the is it лезти? What's the root?
Лазить. Лазить. Так. So it's right here.
Okay, so.
And this is talking about rats.
Oh, gross.
So rats are smart and active. They are great.
Oh, they're good climbers.
Climbers. И далеко прыгают.
What does прыгают mean?
They jump far.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Yeah.
Так, очень хорошо. Номер три.
That's like a habitual thing. That's like a skill that they have, right? They're good climbers. Okay. And then, увы, он счастья не ищет и не от счастья бежит. What's an увы?
Увы, this is from a famous poem. Увы, alas, он счастья не ищет и не от счастья бежит. It's a famous line from a poem.
So like happiness, he's
not looking for happiness.
But he is running to happiness.
And he's not running from happiness.
Oh, at счастья. So he's not looking for happiness, he's not running from happiness. So I'm gonna assume that's he's not running. So it'd be like the unidirectional, like currently running, right?
Yep, exactly. Yeah. And this is often like when you see somebody they're in a hurry, they're like, Привет, куда ты бежишь? But it can also be in the abstract form, like люди бегут от своих эмоций. От чего ты бежишь? Почему ты бежишь от своих? Right? So it's more of like you're always running away from your unhappiness or something like that. Yeah. Okay, номер 4. Как давно?
Как давно твой корабль плывет по волнам?
Волнам.
So how long ago did your boat or your ship?
How long has your ship been floating or because remember плавать can mean swim or float.
Yeah. How long has it been floating I don't
on the waves, along the waves.
Oh, okay. Волна, is that how you say wave?
Волна. So when you say the word я волнуюсь, не надо волноваться, it means like to have waves inside of yourself.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
Так, окей, очень хорошо. Как понять?
No, I'm still trying to figure that one out. Is that... I'm assuming
Sorry.
that's like currently happening, right? So
Exactly.
It's
How long has your ship?
unidirectional. Like how long has it still been on the the waves or whatever?
Yeah. ing. How long
Okay.
has your ship been floating along the waves? ing.
And then как понять, лезут ли зубки у ребенка?
Так. This is interesting. This one doesn't really make sense.
Как понять,
When a baby, например, у моей дочери сейчас лезут зубки, и она все время плачет, да, вот. So the teeth climb through. Yeah? They're climbing through. She's teething.
You know, that's how I explain it to people too with my children.
Teeth are climbing out. They're climbing out of her gums. Okay? Хорошо. This is another really good usage of this word, to climb. Прости, что я лезу не в свое дело. Прости, что я лезу не в свое дело.
Forgive me for not minding my own business. Is that kind of the idea?
Exactly. So that I'm climbing into like something that's not my business. Yeah. And I would say that's the context I hear this verb the most.
Лезу. Yeah, that makes sense.
Вот. Okay, следующий. So now перевод, and then we'll get to our idioms and expressions.
How often do you run? Как часто ты бежишь? Yeah, I only need to see that chart. Actually, I think I have one right here too. So obviously it's бегать. So it's big. Oh, how does it? Бегуш? How does it?
Бегаю, бегаешь, бегает.
Oh, как часто ты бегаешь?
Бегаешь, да, очень хорошо.
Как часто ты бегаешь?
Следующий. And again, we're not saying hurrying, like спешу. You know how, remember how people would be like, I'm running. Like they'll say, I'm running there.
Yeah. So that would be a very similar situation. It'd be like, я не могу поговорить.
I'm hurrying. ing, I'm in motion right now going there.
Yeah, so that would be like, я бегаю.
Nope. That means I always run to my classes. I jog there.
Oh, are you serious?
Versus right now, I can't talk right now.
I
am in motion, бегу.
Бегу. Yeah, бегу.
Я бегу. Так, очень хорошо. Номер 3. Children should learn to swim before 3.
Дети должны учиться или...
Научиться. Skill.
Как... плавать. Как
плавать. Они должны научиться...
You can have it до 3 лет.
До 3. Молодец. Очень хорошо. До 3. Okay. 4.
Our children are allowed to climb on the furniture. Нашим детям нельзя... What is the word for climb again? Лезти на...
Nope. Because it's habitually, they are not allowed to in any direction.
Sorry. So it would be...
Лазить.
Нельзя лазить.
Так, вот. Okay. Номер 5. So we didn't, with your class, we watched the movie Осенний марафон, I believe. Do you remember the movie we watched?
Maybe.
Okay. That would be a funny YouTube video is Return Mormon Missionaries' reactions to the movie Осенний марафон. Anyway, but there's a movie, Ирония судьбы или с легким паром. You need to watch it. Zhenya, the main guy, gets drunk and he lives in Moscow, but he accidentally flies to Leningrad. Anyway, so long story. How would you say Zhenya was drunk when he was flying and accidentally flew all the way to Leningrad?
Zhenya был пьяным, когда он летел.
Молодец! Ура! Когда он летел.
И... accidentally. How do you say accidentally?
Ненарочно.
And then that would be like летел или
полетел в Ленинград. Очень хорошо. But that's what I wanted. So notice летел, it's the background action for some other things. It's not the main event. Okay, хорошо. Выражения, идиомы, поговорки и так далее. Я знаю, что ты уже знаешь эту фразу «ходить вокруг да около». Я люблю эту фразу. Как сказать по-английски?
He's always beating around the bush.
To beat around the bush. Так, не надо, говори просто. Просто скажи мне, что случилось. Не надо ходить вокруг да около.
Да.
Так, очень хорошо. Номер 2. Мурашки бегут. Мурашки бегут. Мурашки бегут.
I think I know the word for murashki. What is that? Murashki.
It literally means little ants, but it actually has a different meaning.
Interesting.
Мурашки. Ой, о, так, ой, блин, мурашки бегут по коже.
Когда у человека холодно?
Да, иногда. Или у него какая-то там сильная эмоция. Так, это просто как...
Oh, is it like chills?
Просто, well, the chills, goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps. So you're literally saying there's little tiny ants running on you.
Oh, that's super funny.
Да, вот, okay. I love this next one. Куда царь пешком ходил? Он там, куда? Мне надо... Мне надо идти туда, куда царь пешком ходил. Или он там, куда царь пешком ходил.
So obviously it's like where the king walks.
Where
like,
the Tsar went by foot, which редко бывало, да? Потому что у него
it's got to be
был...
like a really nice place. Is that the idea? Like...
Наоборот. Это туалет.
Oh, are you serious?
Да. Because the Tsar would have had to get off his horse and go there by foot,
that
right?
makes
Да.
sense.
Куда царь пешком ходил. Так, очень хорошо. Номер
Is that a
4.
way of saying like I need to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, like to, I don't know if you've ever heard this phrase, to talk to a man about a horse.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's like a euphemism for going to the bathroom.
Oh, that's funny.
Номер 4. Собака лает, а караван идет. Это очень хорошая фраза.
So the dog is laying or...
Lait, I think this means to like howl or to whine or, you know, like what a dog does.
Oh yeah, and then caravan idiot, caravan. I don't know what caravan is. Is it caravan maybe?
Yeah, like a caravan идет.
Oh, so it's like wherever the dog is howling, like the caravan is coming?
Yeah, so I don't know really how to translate this. We don't have an equivalent of it in English, but it's like, this is how I would say is like, haters gonna hate.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, dude, you know, we're moving forward, whether you like it or not. Haters gonna hate. I'm gonna do my thing.
A caravan idiot.
Вот, очень хорошо. Ехать зайцем. We've done this one before when we did instrumental case. I want to see if you remember it.
It has something to do with the rabbits. Ехать зайцем.
Например, если ты едешь зайцем в Москве, могут тебя отштрафовать, они могут тебе дать штраф. Если ты едешь зайцем, и как контролер тебя найдет, тогда они дадут тебе штраф.
I know.
To take a free ride. You know what I mean? Like to
when
you get on the, you know how you get on the bus and you
that's right. You don't pay. Yes,
exactly. So it means like it can mean to mooch. It can mean yeah. Okay.
I do remember that now.
Okay. Лезть из кожи вон.
Из кожи вон.
So what is кожа?
I don't know. Cat? No.
Skin. It's your skin.
Skin? Is koj from your skin. To
climb out of your skin there.
Oh, is it be uncomfortable? Like to be out of the comfort zone or something like that?
Kind of, but it means они делают все. Они готовы лезть из кожи вон, чтобы помочь тебе.
Oh, they'll do anything you need.
They'll go out of their way.
Okay.
To help you.
They will literally climb out of their skin.
They'll climb out of their skin. They're to go out of their way to help you.
I like that.
Okay, хорошо. Это все. So get these 3 columns down because we're going to keep going with this because we're going to do carrying, conducting, transporting, and they correspond to these same 3 columns. Okay? Хорошо. Real quick, so I'll finish up the video and then we can talk. Хорошо, это все на сегодня. This is a very difficult topic. Илья бедняжка. Мы все бедняжки, кстати, когда мы изучаем русский. Вот. If you have any questions about this, again, this is one of the most difficult topics in Russian. And again, follow the link in the description that it'll break it down in a more simple way. Это все на сегодня. Спасибо тебе большое, Илья, и увидимся на следующей неделе. Пока.
Пока.